Do you want to start the podcast?
Okay. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 8 of the Geek Remix podcast. My name is Stacy.
And I'm Mari. This week we're doing something a little different because I had a bad week and I'm demanding that we play
Katamari
Damacy.
Yes.
While we do the podcast. So this is like part 4 or 5 of the Katamari Let's Play, but man, sometimes you just gotta play Katamari. So, what do we got this week?
So, first of all, I just wanted to say, do you want me to start like when we start rolling?
Nope, let's just do it.
Okay. So, firstly, wanted to say thank you to Thomas Grip at Frictional Games for mentioning us at GDC.
Well, he tried to.
Well, he tried, but the audio wasn't working. But we were there in spirit, and we appreciate that he wanted to use part of our Let's Play in his talk. That was cool.
And then his computer didn't work. So.
Well, that's not his fault.
Yeah, it's Windows 10's fault.
We can still say thank you.
But yeah, thank you. He was going to use our reaction to 2 things. One was when we were like, do you think all of this is real? And that he's like, no, we were talking about the validity of Simon's consciousness. Mm-hmm. And then at the end, our reaction to the ending. Which I thought it was cool that he chose our reaction. I wonder if we actually did anything special or he was like, these 2 babes.
Well, so I think his talk, which I haven't seen, but I know that when he has generally talked about things, he talks about like how to, this is going to sound weird, but like how to like essentially get the audience to the correct place or get them to realize like the
what you want them to realize?
Yeah. Without like telling them what it is, but to just how to lead them there.
So basically he was like, look how well we manipulated these 2 dumb broads.
That's exactly what it is.
I didn't get to see it. Were you able to see it?
No, but I'm saying like I forget what the title of his talk was, but it was talking about like
check out these 2 manipulatable 2 dumb broads.
I mean, he wasn't literally, that's not exactly
idiots.
Check out these idiots. No, it was more just like, look at, this is how we were able to like lead these 2 people so that they come to this conclusion on their own, but that it's the place that we wanted to bring them to. We were
respecting their shit.
Mm-hmm. So.
And then what other news do we have?
Oh yeah, so Final Fantasy 15 is getting released on September 30th. And did you know it's also getting its own movie and anime?
Oh my god. So, you know, sometimes you guys, with the Final Fantasy, you guys overestimate how popular the game you're going to present is going to be. And I'm like, calm down.
No,
guys.
I'm excited about this.
No, they did the same thing for Final Fantasy 13, and everyone was like, she's okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there were some people that liked it. I thought it was
popular
fine.
in Japan.
Yeah.
Stacy, that was not your opinion.
No, I didn't hate it as much as you did. I think sometimes you think that I hate things as much as you do. Well,
Alright. Well, did it make sense?
I mean, I wasn't... I don't, like... I got to the end of it, and I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
I've just finished Final Fantasy 12, and I was like, this was incredible! That was amazing! That was a great story! And then, you know, after
that was definitely not 13.
Yeah, I finished Final Fantasy 12, and I was like, oh my god, that was so good! Like, okay, so Final Fantasy 12 definitely has its shortcomings, for sure. It's just, like, in terms of story, it was probably the best Final Fantasy I've played. In terms of gameplay, not so much.
Yeah.
In terms of gameplay, it really sucked. I really needed the stream to help me out. But man, it was so great. And the only thing that annoyed me, now I'm talking about Final Fantasy 12, welcome to the podcast.
That's okay.
Is like basically the main character of the story was Ash, and she was like a rebel princess, which is totally my shit. Except that, they were like, oh yeah, the main character is Vance, so every time she would do something super important, he'd be like, oh yeah, me too, I'm saying things, and you're like, shut up, Vance.
Shut up, you're wearing a crop top vest.
Yeah.
God. Why does anyone take you seriously?
That whole game was crop tops, though.
Yes, it's very true. I mean, when did that game come out?
2006, I think.
So, a little late for the crop top trend, or early, depending on which decade you're talking about.
But yeah, it was. Well, it's in a desert kingdom, so everybody was wearing crop top. Everyone was wearing some ridiculous shit. The prince of the kingdom has a boob hole. And 2 minutes into the first cutscene, he dies via the boob hole.
Via the boob hole.
Yeah, he gets shot with an arrow in the boob hole. And then his wife shows up to his funeral, and guess what? A crop top.
I've seen part of that game. You know what, though? Okay, so I watched...
You know what? If you're gonna... I would recommend, unless you have the time, to watch a Let's Play of it. Or just the cinematics.
Yeah, well, so that's what I actually did for 13. I watched, like, one of the cinematic movies because everybody was, like,
going on about it.
And so I was like, all right, I gotta see, like, what's so bad. And to be honest, it was, like, a 9-hour cinematic movie. And even though I watched it, like, I watched it while Brandon was in the hospital. So that's all I watched. Just the whole thing. Right in a row. And I still had no idea what the fuck was going on. No fucking clue.
It was too convoluted. It's so convoluted. You don't know what the fuck is going on.
The only thing I knew for certain at the end of that game was that I hated Vanille so much.
There was this video on the internet about this guy just bitching about Vanille, and I loved it so much.
Oh my god.
Because he's just sitting there being like, nothing she does makes sense.
And I don't understand, and I feel like she's supposed to be desirable, and she just annoyed the piss out of me.
You know why? She's desirable to, like, that weirdo guy. That guy? You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Or that girl. Actually, I don't know any girls who would be into that. You know what? Never mind. I shouldn't judge anybody's thatness.
That? You can be a that if you want to.
I know. If you're that, okay, sorry about your loss. I'm just gonna absorb these eggs.
Oh, okay. If you want to be a that, that's your prerogative.
Anyway, back to Final Fantasy 15.
Back to Final Fantasy 15. So, the anime, titled Brotherhood, is a series of 5 10-minute shows, with the first one... I think the first one was on the 30th of March.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes. And the film, Kingsglaive.
So am I gonna have to watch the anime and the movie and play the game to know what the fuck is going on?
The anime is 50 minutes. That's all it is. Because it's 5 10-minute shows.
But still.
And then, hold on. So the film, Kingsglaive, will come to digital platforms later this year and will star Noctis's father, and Sean Bean will voice a character who probably dies, but who knows?
No, he will.
And then...
Unless Sean Bean is going to be a voice actor in the game.
I mean... But the character has to die, regardless. Whoever Sean Bean is...
Has he ever played a character that doesn't die, do you think? Oh, wait, the guy in Silent Hill.
Oh, yeah, he lives. Yeah. That's like the... Yeah.
Oh, here... I feel the cosmos.
I feel the cosmos.
Whoever's listening on via the audio must... What the fuck?
Sounds like a child demon. Sounds like a child demon to me.
For people listening to the audio, we're playing Katamari, and a child stopped and said, "Oh,
I feel the cosmos.
I feel it. I feel the cosmos."
And then her limbs went straight out, and she lifted her head back, and just light came out. That's pretty much it.
She said, "The goose returned to the something
it's
or
a
whatever."
Sickness.
Ooh, okay. Here's my piece of news.
Oh yeah.
Did you hear about the Tay tweets?
Oh yeah. Oh, I was like following right along with that drama. Okay, so I work as a social media manager, so I get to...
Oh, so you were just like...
So I get to see a lot of news in, like, from the tech world, like, as it happens, because I'm constantly looking at, like, stuff that's coming out. That's actually how I hear about a lot of video game news, too. But in any case, so I like was watching along as that drama unfolded. And did you hear
popping popcorn at the office?
Yep, pretty much. And then so for those of you who don't know,
she's so excited.
you can tell them if you want. It was
no, go ahead. You can. Okay. You probably know this better than I do.
So basically, what happened is Microsoft made this AI, an artificial intelligence chatbot named Tay, and they set her loose on Twitter, and she was supposed to talk like a millennial or a teenager.
Oh shit.
I guess.
Oh shit.
And but she's an AI, so she learns from the people that she interacts with on Twitter. So of course then she started spouting off a bunch of racist garbage.
So what I want to know is, how is it that she had that problem, but Smarter Child and like Cleverbot never had that problem?
Because people set out to make her that way.
But in Cleverbot and stuff, people set her out to make. You know what? Just put in filters that like don't let her say the N-word.
I think so. She started saying a bunch of racist shit. She also became like a Holocaust denier.
Yeah.
And like all this other random shit. And so then Microsoft took her offline rather quickly, of course, because she said like a bunch of like ridiculous crap, and everyone was like, excuse me?
Freedom of speech? Or something?
No.
Okay.
But she was like tweeting racist things to people, and people would be like, what? What did you just say to me?
What did you just say to me, you stupid robot?
Yeah. So they took her offline, and they were like, oh, we're gonna fix it. So then they tried to fix it, and then they
she started talking about smoking weed in front of the cops.
Yes.
Immediately.
They put her back, as soon as they put her back online, she was like, shh, I'm smoking kush in front of the cops. And everyone was like, oh, what? Which is like the funniest fucking thing ever. Because like, Microsoft, what are you doing?
I don't understand. Like, everybody else seems to be able to make a chatbot just fine. What are you doing? What's the problem?
So this was like this epic story that was like developing throughout the week. And like everybody was just, it's like watching it slowly unfold.
I don't understand how it got so bad. I looked at her whatever it's called, her real life persona, the one with the face, and it was like she can make faces like a human, and they were like all really bad faces. They were very disturbing, very bad faces.
She can make real life faces, and she's like, ugh.
Yeah, she's literally grimacing.
Like, looks like she's taking a dump.
It was like a very disturbing grimace, though. It was like, I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna feminist complain for a second, but it really bothers me how whenever people make a robot, they always make it's a woman.
Yeah.
It just feels objectifying, and I know people are more receptive to women.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna make all of your service bots female, it kind of like makes it weird.
Mari, to be fair, if a service bot man tried to tell me or you what to do, like, would you be as receptive to it?
I don't know, because it's
like
a robot.
If your GPS was like, "Oh, Mari, you're such a bad driver. What are you doing?" You'd be like, "Fuck you!" Pull the thing out from the car and throw it out the window.
It just reminds me of Ghost in the Shell, where all the service bots were women. It kind of like is like, huh. I can see this going in a very bad direction.
And I totally get what you're saying.
It's gonna start like the subliminal thing where all this, eventually, there will be service droids. I accept that. And it's going to turn into this thing where, like, people are going to equate female to...
with service.
Service or
yeah.
whatever. And then, there's the whole problem of, like, when they attain sentience,
And they're all like, what the fuck is this? What is this bullshit?
And then there's going to be those people who, even today... Or like, they're not real. Like, even after all the movies that have come out, they'll go like, they're not real. We can totally fuck them and like do creepy shit to them. They don't have feelings. And I'm like, well, you're gonna be the first to die, so.
So they do make male real dolls.
Yeah, but.
No, I was just looking up for my curiosity because I was like.
Stacey, if you don't think I've already looked that up and done research on it, you were mistaken.
I didn't think you hadn't. I'm just looking it up for my own benefit.
I once watched one of those HBO specials. You know how they used to have those where it was like just like creepy sex shit late at night, and I was watching it, And it was like porn stars trying out like a male's real doll.
Oh, did you ever see Lars and the Real Girl?
I saw parts of it and I got really sad, so I stopped watching it.
Yeah, it was sad. Anyways, you were saying?
Anyway, so like all the porn stars were like fucking this dude, and you could like take his penis off and put it back on, and like have different penises.
Oh, well, that's handy.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just making jokes.
Oh, I was taking it serious.
For all the male listeners who are like, oh my god, a detachable penis? That's terrifying.
I don't know. Never mind. I'm just, you know what? If robots became sentient and wanted to have sex with me, I would love to. But I don't want to hold those standards for humans.
You know, I would just be so worried that like, I don't know. I'd be worried that I was taking advantage of the robot.
Mm-hmm. Like, are you sure that you're sentient?
Are you sure that you're sentient? Or are you doing this because you're supposed to, like, you think you're supposed to make me happy? You know?
And they were like, are you programmed to lie to me and say that you love me?
Yeah, yeah. Are you programmed to, like, want to make me happy and that's why you want to do this? Or do you want to do it, like, because you want to do it? You know?
And, like, what if they don't want to do it, but they're programmed to have to say yes? Like,
yeah! Oh, my God. Like, how horrible would that be? Then you've raped a robot.
I know! And you don't even know!
And you don't even know it!
And they have no way of telling you.
Oh, God. And they're just screaming inside.
These are these things that I legitimately have thought about that a lot.
Yeah. I know.
It's like the movie Her. For some reason, that movie just pissed me off.
Oh, I never saw it.
Oh, God, it's so... It's like, you're like, so this is made by a straight man.
Yeah, yeah.
It was just like that. It was just like made by a guy.
Mm-hmm.
You ever see...
I don't think that makes it inherently bad.
No, it's just, it's hard for me to explain where you're just like, really?
Yeah.
Really? In the beginning of the movie, she's pretty much created to fit his psychological profile to be perfect for him. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, they fall in love. But it's like she was created
to be perfect for him.
I mean, it's not, they weren't supposed to fall in love. That's not how they were designed. But that's, you know, if you're going to do that, it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And people, like, fall in love, blah, 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 blah. A bunch of other stuff happens where the ending is not as disgusting as I thought it was going to be. But the whole time I was just like, I don't know. It's... When they have these psychological movies where it's like, what if in the future? It's always like, what if you fell in love with a woman who was perfect? And I'm like, I don't know, dude. What if? Whatever. Who cares? Oh, it's this lady in her cart.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah. I mean, without a doubt, it is definitely usually
Female robots.
Welcome
voices. To feminism and robots. We've ruined everything for you.
We've ruined everything.
Nothing is enjoyable anymore.
So, do you remember Jay and Silent Bob?
Yeah.
They crowdfunded a game.
Oh, cool. I was never really into them, but...
I wasn't, but I figured...
But good for them.
I would... imagine that some people listening would probably be interested, I guess. So, thought I would just bring that up.
What's the game going to be about? Just like
I think it's just like a side-scrolling, like, just fun game. I don't think it's like anything like a, you know, like they fight people together. It's called, do you want to know what it's called?
What?
Chronic Blunt Punch.
Okay, I'm in. That's cool. I don't do drugs, but that sounds cool. I like it.
So, and you know what? So they crowdfunded. They raised $400,000 on Fig, and do you know what else was crowdfunded on Fig?
What?
Psychonauts 2.
Cool.
So
everyone's pretty hesitant about Psychonauts 2 because that's the same people who made Broken Age, and a lot of people were not happy with Broken Age.
With Double Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like Broken Age was, you know, it gave you what you promised.
Okay, so can you explain to me, are you talking about, like, unhappy with the game, or unhappy with,
Yeah, they were unhappy with, They were unhappy with the game. I don't know why. They were like, yeah, it was mismanaged. They didn't spend the money right. I'm like, how do you think games are made?
Ah, yeah. You know, it irritates me sometimes when people, like, honestly, yes, sometimes there are companies that, like, mismanage their money and things like that. But also at the same time, I think a lot of people sincerely underestimate how much it costs to, like, make things.
Like, yes, a point-and-click game shouldn't cost that much. However, that game had, like, well, you know, Act 2 was kind of a disappointment. But that game had, like, an orchestral musical, the music and the sounds and the voice acting and the art was all above expectations. So
yeah,
yes, I just ate a child.
Yes, and now you're stuck.
Yeah. That was all worth $3 million.
Well, but it's like when people, you know, they look at crowdfunding campaigns and they're like, oh, this doesn't deserve to get this much money. And it's like, what do you mean they don't deserve it? You know?
They got it.
Like,
I think it's just people pissed that, like, somebody else did it and they didn't do it.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's the same type of thing when people will look at, like, say, PewDiePie and the amount of money that PewDiePie makes. And they'll be like, oh, he doesn't deserve to make that much money. And it's like, well, who are we to, like, decide how much money somebody's supposed to make and, like, what they should do with their own money? Like, that's their own business.
You're not the one paying them.
Exactly. You don't pay them, and, you know, if you don't want to support them in any way, then that's, like, you know, that's your business. The one area where I sometimes hesitate to agree with that is with, like, CEO compensation.
Oh, yeah, where it's like that's actively making somebody else not make any money.
Yes, exactly, because, like, so PewDiePie making, like, whatever amount of money he does, it doesn't take money away from any other people.
No.
Whereas a CEO of a company, if he wants to give himself a $10 million raise one year, then he looks at everybody else in the company and gives them less money.
Yeah, he makes more money by cutting other people out.
Yeah, which is bullshit. I think that if you're the leader of a company, there, you know, like, there are some leaders of companies who will actually pay themselves, like, a livable wage.
Yeah.
I forget what company.
It's still like $1 million, but it's
No,
less.
I forget what company it was, but there was...
Shit, I accidentally skipped the cutscene. Damn it. Sorry.
But there was a company where a guy paid himself, like, $70,000 a year. Mm-hmm. And he was, like, the CEO of the company. And, because he was like, I don't want to make any more than the amount of money that other people make at this company. Mm-hmm. Because he thought it was more important to put the money into the company and, like, to take care of people.
The rationalization people have is that the better you pay your CEO, the better the company will run.
That's not true.
I'm
not supported by research.
Ah, I see.
Yes. It is actually,
It might actually hurt the company because the guy's trying to give himself a raise.
Well, so a lot of times it's like CEOs get paid more at bigger companies, and they do have a lot of responsibilities, so I'm not saying it's like they don't deserve to make anything. Mm-hmm. Or, like, if you look, say, at, like, another area would be, like, college football coaches. Mm-hmm. College football coaches will make, like, $40 million a year. And, of course, players make nothing because they're college students. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that always bothers me.
Right?
And they're like, well, then it would make college football not fair and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, but you're killing them and not giving them the education they need because you're taking up all their time with football.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, some college football teams, like, they work their players, like, as much as you would at a job.
And
like,
then they don't give them time to study, and they don't learn anything.
Yeah, and so they'll put them, what happens is they'll put them into basically blow-off classes, or classes where everybody gets an A, and things like that. Mm-hmm. And so then they don't end up learning anything, and the problem is that not everybody in college football ends up going on to the NFL. In fact, only a teeny percentage do. So the whole point...
And then these people get injured and don't have a good education and have no skills.
Yeah.
And then the coaches make tons of money off of these kids.
Oh, they make tons of money. They make tons of money. It's like, it's kind of crazy how much money they make. And I don't know. It's tough to say like what should they make, what's realistic. You know, you look at
enough money to make up for the fact that the college makes millions of dollars.
I know. Well, and I mean, I guess you could look at like professional athletes and say the same thing. Although the thing about professional athletes is that people who are professional athletes have generally trained from a very young age.
Wait, I don't mind having professional athletes make money. Wait,
no. That's not what I'm saying.
Oh.
I'm saying they also make a lot of money.
Uh-huh.
But the difference between them and but the difference is that they are responsible for like themselves, as opposed to like a football coach is responsible for like a team of other people.
Uh-huh.
So, I don't know. I feel like compensation structure in the U.S. is really...
No, because every time someone tries to bring it up, they're like, well, what about good old-fashioned hard work? And it's like, we're not taking that away, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We're not taking that away. Sorry, I did a up inflection. Shouldn't have said trying not to talk like that. We're not taking that away. It's just, you know, sometimes we have this capitalism is good. It just isn't always good when it's like 100%.
Well, there's a difference between, you know, there's like a big middle ground that I feel like people don't exercise. Mm-hmm. You have a whole lot of people that are like on the lower end of the spectrum, like a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And then you have like a smaller amount of people at the very top. Mm-hmm. And so if you just even things out like a tiny bit, that would make a big difference to a lot of people. And it wouldn't even hurt the people on the top like as much as you would imagine, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, to somebody who makes $1 billion, what is the difference if they make $1 million less? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're still making a shit ton of money, but like for somebody, say, who makes, you know, $30,000 a year, them making another $5,000 a year, that is a huge difference. Mm-hmm. Huge difference. I don't know really where I'm going with this point, but you guys get the idea. So, have you been reading anything interesting lately?
I've been reading The Burning Sky.
Oh, that's right. We started listening to that together, and I have not picked it up yet to read the rest of it. So don't...
It has a heterosexual romance in it from the perspective of both the male and female character. One is an elemental mage in the world where it's like... There are elemental mages, and then there's regular mages. Elemental mages can do all the stuff regular mages can do, but they can also control the elements in
so powerful,
super powerful ways. And this girl, she finds out that she's like a super powerful elemental mage, and like the prince sees her from like 300 miles away, and he's like, "Oh my god, that was fucking rad!"
Yeah. The Burning Sky by Sherry Thomas.
Yeah, it's written by a woman who usually writes romance novels. Because you know how when you read a book and it's like the premise is so cool and everything's cool, and then they're like, also romance, and you're like, but that what? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And but this romance actually, I was like,
is believable.
You know how you can read a romance and you're like, okay, but then sometimes you can feel a romance and you're like,
yeah.
ho.
You know, it's like when we were talking about if you have like hetero characters, sometimes it feels like, oh, they're together because
they're man and woman.
They're man and woman, like just because.
Yeah.
And it's just a given that they're together as opposed to like they actually developed the romance.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like this is a good one. Where it's like you can actually, but when the romance is good, then it actually is developed very well. Mm-hmm. I think that's why we end up liking queer romances more a lot of the times.
Well, one time I was like, you know, when I'm watching TV and I see a guy and a girl together, I kind of feel whatever. But when it's two girls, it feels more right. And you're like, well, that's because they actually try to make it so they have a developed relationship. Mm-hmm. Because then people don't really question the
male and female being together.
Yeah. But they do question
with
gay people.
With a gay romance, they need to like really see the romantic connection.
Well, yeah, because sometimes, like, when you just hint at it, people are like, oh, I had no idea. Like, Mulan from Once Upon a Time, people still don't know that she's gay.
Oh, my God.
Like, there's a bunch of people who are like, I didn't even know she was gay. I was like, how do you not know she's gay?
How do you not know that?
That's so, like...
Yeah,
obvious.
I know, it's sad, right?
Yeah, I was like... no, I was like, those two, for sure.
Yeah. That's how it is, though. It's like, you have to really show it so that people can see it. Also, because I feel like writers will sometimes, like, if there's going to be a gay, like, romance arc,
mm-hmm.
writers will put a lot of work into it,
mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
Especially, like, if the writer happens to be queer themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, why wouldn't you? Like, you finally get the opportunity to put a queer romance in your story, and you're like, fuck yes, I'm gonna make this the best romance ever.
Everyone called Iron Bull and Dorian's romance abusive, and I was like, oh, I didn't know this gay romance that had nothing to do with you was abusive. Sorry that they decided to have a romance without you.
Wait, how is it abusive?
It's a vaguely S&M relationship.
Okay, well, people, yeah, okay.
And it's like, it's written by David Gator, who, for the very first time, he wrote Dorian from his own gay experiences,
mm-hmm.
and he's trying his best with his last breath on the last game he works on to put a diversity of gay romances in it. So the one that Dorian has with the Inquisitor, of course, it's perfect because it's having to do with the Inquisitor. But
yeah.
oh no, these two gay guys off in the corner who are minding their own business and doing their own thing. Oh God, we better judge the shit out of the relationship. Even though the only thing you hear about their relationship is by overhearing them talk to each other. And it's so judgmental.
For you to sit, yeah.
For you to sit there and be like,
ugh. Oh my God.
Yeah, like, I can't believe it's just so abusive. And you're like, you don't know anything about what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, you can make assumptions. Like, you can say this relationship is abusive if you're the main character and the romance is about you. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
But no.
But if you don't really see everything that's going on.
Yeah, you basically only see, like, them talking about something that happened.
Oh.
Or them being like, and it'll be like Iron Bull teasing Dorian, being like, I know you left your underwear in here, and he's like, it was a mistake.
Oh.
And Iron Bull's like, ha ha ha. And Iron Bull, every opportunity he has, proves himself to be somebody who is very conscious, conscious about consent.
Yes.
And
yeah.
people's feelings. And I don't understand why people were like, oh, he's really good at S&M and, like, all this shit, but except for when Dorian's around. And I'm like, but why do you think that? Anyway, I was just mad about that for a while.
I know. That would make me really mad, too. Oh, but we were talking about books.
Oh, yeah.
So, hold on. I've been listening to one...
We gotta talk about Gamefly, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So, I have been reading How We Got to Now.
What's that?
Is... just let me look up the author really quick. How We Got to Now. 6 Innovations That Made the Modern World by Stephen Johnson. And so originally this was like, I think it was a series on the BBC. Mm-hmm. Oh no, it was a series on PBS. And it was like a British-American factual television series, basically.
And this is audio?
So they made a book out of this series.
Uh-huh.
And what it does is it goes over the 6 inventions that without which the world wouldn't, like, not exist the way it exists today.
Give me an example.
Glass.
Glass, huh?
Yes, because glass exists in like fiberglass cables, which is like connects the internet.
Ah.
Glass exists in like not only in houses, but it also like it can protect things and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Also the invention of air conditioning, because it allows us to preserve food and to not colonize, but like live in areas where we might never otherwise be able to live. And there's a bunch of other ones. It's really good if you like, and it kind of takes like the long view through history. Like it takes just that one invention, and it's like, okay, so it started out, you know, a couple thousand years ago when like glass makers.
Let's look at this insane cutscene for a sec.
Oh my god. What?
Their dad is a
Space.
astronaut.
In space?
I guess. Who knows what's happening?
What
in
is
this
going
game?
on? Anyways, so what it'll do is it'll be like, okay, so the story of glass starts out like many thousands of years ago when the planet was still forming and all of this stuff, and it brings you up through all the way to the present. It's just really interesting if you like looking at history through like the perspective of how it's made type.
Slap them that Audible link.
Oh yeah, so if you want to listen to that for free, you can use our Audible referral link, which is audibletrial.com/geekremix. And with that, you get a free 30-day trial, which includes a free book. And I'm actually working right now on putting together my listener page so that you guys can see all of the reviews that I've made for different books. I only have a couple up there right now, so I can't really give out the link, but in the future, hopefully...
You'll put it out on your Twitter or something.
Yeah, I'll put it on Twitter, or we'll, like, I don't know, do whatever with it.
We're trying out Gamefly. We bought Gamefly for ourselves and tested it out first. Oh, look, there's a crazy... I feel it in the cosmos.
Oh, God. I feel the cosmos.
What the fuck is going on?
Oh my god. Those kid things are just so weird.
So I got Barbie Dreamhouse and Pokemon Tournament.
Pokken Tournament?
And they both work. The CDs or DVDs or whatever are not scratched. And Stacy did a breakdown of how much money you can save.
Oh yeah. So, okay. Hold on. Let me look up the thing because Alright, so if you guys wanted to try it out, you can get a free 30-day trial at gameflyoffer.com/geekremix. And basically, if you were to do the, I think, like, the base cost ends up being, like, $15 a month for one game out at a time. And, hold on.
It says 9. Okay, yeah.
No,
that's the promotion.
So you can do other promotions where it costs money, but like with the link that we gave you, you can do a 30-day free trial. Or you can pay money and get like savings instead. But
a 30-day free trial for the first month. So we tried this out just to make sure you guys know. Okay,
yeah.
And then I was able to get games that I wasn't gonna be able to afford to buy, but now I can rent them and we can play them.
Yeah, so I got Metal Gear Solid 5 and I started playing it, and it was like, the intro is so long.
Yeah, but you didn't want to support that game.
But I didn't want to support the game.
Because of Quiet, but now you want to play it.
And I thought to myself, like, man, I heard a lot of good things about it and I really want to check it out, but I don't want to buy it because fuck that game. And so then I was like, but I can rent it for free and not feel like...
Well, rent it for a fee, but whatever.
Yes. Well, I'm on my free month.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so I could rent it, check it out, and then return it and feel like I didn't give anybody anything.
Stacy and I have been going to GameStop, and every time we go there, we see Barbie Dreamhouse, and it's not on sale.
Nope.
And so it's $20 every time we go there. I'm like, damn it! Barbie Dreamhouse is still not on sale!
And so, like, how are we gonna, it's like one of those games where it's like, oh my god, I bet it's, like, so funny to play, but I don't want to spend $20 on it.
Yeah.
Gamefly is, like, perfect for that. If there's a game that you're like, man, like, I really just want to check it out because it looks so dumb or awesome, but I don't want to spend that amount of money on it.
Or, okay, think of it this way. You want to play 12 games this year. One per month. You could either spend 12 times 60, which I'm not going to do.
Yeah.
Or you can play 12 times 15.
Well, which is 180, which is the cost of three
You can
games.
You can pay $180 for 3 games, or $180 for however fast you can play a game.
You know how much it would cost you just buy 12 games at $60? $720. Oh my god.
So now you can rent all these games, and it's cheaper than you would get at GameStop.
Yep.
Just let you know, before we do these sponsorships, we get the stuff ourselves and we try it.
Yeah, so if you guys want to check that out, it's gameflyoffer.com/geekremix.
Sorry that we take so long with the sponsorships, but they're just
we
just talk a lot.
Well, we also get we want you guys to know, I don't know, how they work and how it benefits you, I guess.
Yeah, what we're good at is gaming the system.
Yes.
We're very bad at giving sponsorships because we're like, here's how you scam them, kids. This is how you scam them. This is how you get free shit. Sponsorships are like, what the fuck?
We had a couple questions this week that I thought might be fun.
Oh, wait. Honeycamp Studio is coming out, which is made by the same people who made Honey Pop.
Wait, what is it?
Honeycamp Studio.
Honeycamp?
It's like it's a tycoon game, but for cam girls.
Oh, wow. Hold on, I want to look this up. Oh my god.
Yeah, you ready for this?
This is it's so funny because it's I want to dislike this game, but for some reason I don't.
For instead, you get aroused and you're like, God damn it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, one of the reasons that I didn't mind Honey Pop, at least the part that we played, was
it's pretty disgusting.
I mean, but it's I mind less, if a character is sexualized, I mind less if it feels like they are in charge of themselves.
There's a character later on where I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
I felt very bad, but I wanted to get all the achievements.
Bah. It just you know what I mean? It's when a character seems very, I don't know. I don't want to use the term submissive because I know that that's not necessarily a bad
unaware.
Thing. Unaware, they're being taken advantage of, then that really bothers me.
Yes.
But if a character is oh, you know what? In Katamari Girls, when some of the girls are wearing skimpy outfits, but they seem fuck yeah,
check this out.
Yeah, check this out. Then I don't mind.
Yeah.
Because one of my favorite characters is wearing the least amount of clothes because she looks fucking rad.
She's like, check them out, dude.
She's check it. She's winking at you.
In
what?
In whatever it's called, whatever, Honey Pop.
Yes.
You can date an alien and stuff.
Oh my god, really?
She's an alien bounty hunter or something. I don't know. It was weird.
Okay. Did you want to do a couple questions?
Yeah.
Okay. So, first one. Are you guys at all worried about all the staff members leaving BioWare lately?
Yes.
So, I have 2 thoughts on this. One, I don't really know the whole story about it. But 2, if this is from the Mass Effect team, most people don't stay at their jobs for 10 years. So expecting the entire team to stick around through
all the major guys are leaving though.
I know, but most people stay at their job for 3 to 5 years. That's unless you're older. But nowadays, people don't stay at their jobs that long.
It's a bad sign if they're leaving before the game comes out.
Yeah.
And it's also a bad sign because that's what happened with Mass Effect 3. These fucking dudes are all up on my ass. And it's not a good sign.
Yeah.
Because it's showing that the people who are happy with their jobs for a very long time are all leaving at the same time, being like, wow, fuck this.
Yeah. I don't know. It depends. It depends how long they were working there, honestly.
These are all the guys that people have known to be the solid hitters are leaving, which is bad because it's a brain drain.
Yeah.
At the very least, it's bad because it's a brain drain.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not saying that it's like it's necessarily good, but you can't expect people to stay at their jobs for like 20 years.
That's not what people are worried about. People are worried about the fact that like all of the people who were the talent are leaving at the same time, and people are wondering, why are they all leaving now? Why are they leaving now at the same time? Because this happened before, and it was not a good sign.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Jump into me, fish. Damn it.
Jump into me! So, I thought this would be an interesting one to talk about. So this one comes from, this was not necessarily a podcast question. They asked me this, but I thought that this would be fun to talk about together.
What?
So they said, this is from Explicit Ren. He said, I love Dragon Age Inquisition. Which actor would you cast to play the major characters?
For what?
Dragon Age Inquisition.
Huh.
If you were to cast it as a movie, who would you cast?
Solus would be, what's his name from Batman? What's his name?
Which Batman?
The latest Batman. Not him. Batman Begins. Dark Knight Rises. Dark Knight
Rises.
You know, with Bane and shit. Christian Bale.
Oh, Christian Bale?
Christian Bale with his head shaved.
Would be Solus?
Yeah. Definitely.
That's weird.
It's not weird, it's right.
Okay, so I think that, I don't know, it's tough because, like...
I don't have people off the top of my head, to be honest. I don't really keep up with celebrities.
I was thinking about this a little bit, and I think that maybe Sarah I would cast as... I don't know the actress's name, but she plays Britta on Community. Just because she's kind of small and spunky.
You know what? Usually their voice actors look pretty okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Either their voice actor or their face model is usually, like, pretty solid. I know that Caden's face model is like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's a Brazilian model. It's like, oh my god. I'm gonna fail this mission.
Other questions? This comes from Amber. She's been into episodic games that have a good story and was wondering what ones we would recommend.
Episodic games?
Yes. This is tough because, like,
I guess Life is Strange.
But I don't particularly dig on episodic games as a medium. They just are very handy for Let's Playing. Like,
I like them.
I mean, well, I'm not saying they're bad. I just, like, I don't tend to prefer, you know what I mean? I don't really think of them as, like, better or worse. It's just a format that people use sometimes. So, I'm not sure that I would ever sit there and say, like, oh, I want to play an episodic game, you know? I would just be like, oh, I want to play a game. This one happens to be episodic, you know? Like, Life is Strange really works with the episodic format because...
They were doing mysteries and shit.
Well, it builds mystery, but it would also just be, like, a lot of fucking shit to deal with very quickly if you were to play it all at once.
Well, the story arc, you know what I think they're asking for? Smaller story arcs in terms of a larger one, because sometimes people put out episodic games, and I'm like, that was not meant to be an episodic game.
Oh, yeah.
Because it'll be, like, just suddenly cut off, and you're like, no, dude.
Yeah. You know, they're talking about making Final Fantasy VII episodic, and I was kind of wondering, like, is that because they're going to have, like, smaller stories within the story, or is that really just so
going to cut it up?
They can cut it up?
Probably just so they can cut it up.
Yeah.
I just absorbed a punk. Playful punk. I'm going to die. Well, whatever.
What are other episodic games that we've even played? I mean, there's Blues and
Bullets, Albino Lullaby. which
Albino Lullaby has only one episode out so far, though.
There's going to be another one.
Well, I know, but I'm saying, like...
I feel like Albino Lullaby's first episode was, like, pretty closed if it never comes out again. You know?
Yes.
You get to the end and you're like, oh, what?
Yeah. What?
The whole time I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
You know what I hate is when people are like, I don't understand what happened in that episode. I was like, did you read it in the notes? No. Then we're not friends anymore.
I mean, I had theories about what was going on, but I'm not really as, like...
No. The person I talked to was like, oh, I don't know. It was pretty boring. Nothing was explained. And I was like,
I see.
You're an idiot! Like, why do you even play a game if you don't care? And they're like, I don't know. I just don't really care about the story in games. And I'm like, then why did you play it?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe they just, like, wanted to be scared, I guess.
What's going on with these two guys?
I don't know.
Or like one time when I was watching C-Top play Blues and Bullets, and he took the opportunity every time was talking to be the time when he would talk, and I was like, I messaged him like, stop it.
I think the only time, like, we ever do that in games is where it either doesn't really matter or where we're really not taking the game seriously.
Like in Heavy Rain, towards the end, where you just did not care.
Yes. Correct. And we would just talk right over everything.
We were like, who gives a shit about you and your stupid shit? Do we have any other cool shit happening lately?
Oh. No, here's another question. Who, from the Star Trek Next Generation cast, would you bang in a second? Data?
Worf. Oh, Riker, too. No, yeah.
I
Riker.
think are you just going to choose everybody, or do you have one that you can
Everyone
choose?
except Captain Picard. Troy, you know that having fucking with Troy, that would be something else.
See, the first person that came to mind for me was definitely Troy, because I was like, what would that be like? You know?
Yeah? Because she's half Betazoid?
Yeah. She could sense your feelings. She would
yeah, but I would feel self-conscious about my feelings.
But she would probably be so good at eating pussy.
But the thing is, though, I would be self-conscious about it because it would be like, oh, I'm not into this. Oh, she knows I'm not into it. Oh, no, now I feel bad.
Well, she can't read your thoughts.
She can read my feelings, you know?
Okay, so you're worried that you wouldn't be into it enough? I mean...
No, I would just be really stressed out about being into it to the point where I wouldn't be into it because I'd be stressed out about being into it because then she would know and I'd be thinking about that too much.
You sound like you're so fun in bed.
Well, I'm just saying...
Stacey, I'm a neurotic mess, okay?
News.
I can't even think about a fantasy without being a neurotic mess.
I'm just saying... You think about fantasies, and then I think about fantasies within the context of reality. If I was fucking Troy, I would be worried about being on the emotional level that she wants. You know? Because what if I'm, like, on an emotional level and she's like, I can't do this anymore. We're not connecting. And I'm like, I'm connecting. I'm trying to connect. And she's like, I don't know, man.
That's so funny that you assumed that you wouldn't be excited about something in your own fantasy.
I'm just saying, I would be so excited about it. I would be nervous. And then not be able to get to that level.
Mari, but, like, it's a fantasy. It can be whatever you want.
Yeah, but...
You don't want to be excited in your own fantasy? You want to be yourself? Why would you want to be yourself? Oh my god.
I'm just saying, my immediate reaction to someone being in tune with my emotions is, what if my emotions disappoint them?
But this is like your fantasy. This is like saying, like,
I can't not be me in my fantasy. This is the basis. I can be anything but not me in my fantasy.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Because I'll be like, she'd be like, hey, do you want to, like, fuck and shit? I'm like, yeah. Oh, God, she knows how I'm feeling. Oh, no, I'm getting nervous. And she'll be like, just calm down. Like, go with it. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm calm.
But she'd be, you know what, but she'd be able to sense your nervousness, and she would probably...
But I don't want her to do her job while she's having sex with me. Because her job is to be, like, a therapist.
No, but that's not, like, her... Okay, so we're going to get really into this. And this is, like... a fantasy question.
What does it tell you that my first choice was Data, the emotionless person?
What does it tell me that you're the worst? You're the worst.
Why? Because I've now made you think about possibly being anxious while fucking
because
trying?
like you can't just sometimes how you always tease me because sometimes you'll tell a joke or you'll and I won't get it. This is you
I'm taking
not
this
getting
question seriously.
Yeah, this is you not getting it.
But
it's a fun question.
It's a fun
You're supposed
question
to have fun with
where
it.
I
You heard her. Don't ask her any fun questions because she will take them so seriously that she will just beat them into the ground.
Well,
okay?
You're supposed to.
Yeah?
Yeah. What's the point of being asked a question if you're not going to think about it way too much? What's the point of taking a Star Trek question?
What's the point of taking any question seriously?
Stacey, if any question should be taken seriously, it's a Star Trek question.
This is about your fantasy, and you essentially looked at me and you said, I'm sorry, I can't have a fantasy because I'm too serious. I just want you to think about that for a second. Mari, the one who talks about all the weird porn and all this stuff.
I still need to be me in my fantasy, and me in my fantasy would be worried that my emotional state would ruin the mood.
Okay. Oh my god.
I need an entire roundup where Troy and I get to know each other, and I say, Troy, I have a lot of problems. I'm very stressed out about it. And she goes, you know what, Mari? It's okay, because everybody else is like that too. And it's very refreshing to know that you're just honest about it, because most of the time I talk people down. It's okay. Everything's fine.
Are those telephones? What the fuck?
Yes, there's telephones and Katamari Damacy.
God, Earth is full of shit. Anyways.
But
I feel like she would be a very, like, emotionally,
empathetic lover.
And it's not even just, like...
I just feel like she would open up my mind and be like, whoa, nope.
No, she
not
seems
today.
So much worse than you. You know she has.
Oh, like when Tom Hardy went into her brain and tried to have sex with her, and she was like, what the hell?
Yeah, and you know that she's also had to deal with people, like, with knowing that people are being disingenuous with her. You know that she's had to deal with that, right? She's gone on dates and been sitting there and been like, wow, this fucking asshole just wants to sleep with me, and I am not having it. I'm looking for a relationship, and this person just wants to get their dick wet.
Do you remember that one episode where she's like, something was up with her? I can't remember what it was. And she's like trying to fuck this guy, and Riker comes in, and she's like, what? Are you jealous? And he's like, no. She's like, you know, I can have sex with whoever I want. And he's like, you can.
You can.
You can. I totally believe in your right to do that. And she's like, whatever, Riker. Don't you slut shame me. He's like, I'm not. I'm actually very impressed that you're able to...
I'm actually very agreeable and supportive of your independence.
I'm really glad that you're having sex with lots of people. It makes me happy. And she's like, nah. Something had infected her. You know how, whatever the fuck happened.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my god.
Remember that one episode where Riker, goes to that planet where all the women are the alphas, and then he gets in a twink outfit, and they're like, I like this. And he's like,
this
okay.
is nice. And he's like, okay. Sounds good.
Like,
I'll do whatever.
He puts on the twink outfit that all the men in the planet have to wear.
Oh my god.
Oh, you know who I would have sex with, no problem?
Who?
The very first...
Tasha Yar?
Yeah, the very first, defense officer.
Yeah, Tasha Yar.
The security officer.
Tasha Yar.
Totally fine with that, because you know what that would be having sex with her would be like?
Because she's a take charge woman.
She's a take charge woman, and I wouldn't have to deal with, like...
And she's like a no strings attached kind of...
Yeah. Here's what my problem is. Troy would be like, now I know everything about your heart. I'm like, shit. Mm-hmm. When really, I just want to be like, later.
Yeah. Anything else? I think that's pretty much it. Some of the newer viewers have been asking if we could give like an overview of who we are since they don't know.
I don't know how to do that, honestly.
We are two best friends. We live in the Midwest, and we don't live together. We are not married.
Stacy's married.
Well, no, I'm saying we're not married to each other.
Oh, we're not married to each other.
We're not married to each other. We never dated. I think that's
sometimes people ask really creepy questions, and I'm like, you need to stop.
I think that's pretty much all the important stuff, right?
Yeah.
If you guys want to ask other podcast questions, you can always ask me. It's
Stacey, I'm having anxiety about the thought of Troy knowing my emotions. You know how sometimes I take fantasies way too seriously to the point where I'm like, what if that did happen?
I don't even know why we do questions on the podcast. Because I think every time there's always a question that you're just like, you think about it too much and then it stresses you out.
Now
you know what kinds of questions
if I
to
ever
ask.
have a fantasy about Star Trek The Next Generation, it's going to be like me thinking about it too much.
Yeah. Well...
Are you mad because now you're worried about it too?
No, I think... No! Well, don't turn me into you! What are you thinking? You're like, are you mad because you're like me now that we're the same? And I'm like, no, I'm not.
Now that we have the same fears?
No, we do not.
I would have sex with a security officer, not Deanna Troy. It's too intimate for me.
Tasha Yar is a good one. She was cool.
Yeah, that's what my problem is.
Yeah.
It's too intimate for me. Can't handle
I just love how she has sex with Data. And then they're both just like, she's like, get away from me.
Yeah. Data's like, okay. Wonder what that was like.
Yeah. Wait, is this telling you to get to 38 meters?
No, I have to eat as many twins as I can.
Oh, eat twins.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm talking about the game, guys. Sorry, I totally missed.
No, don't explain it.
Okay. Yes, we have to eat twins. Sounds good. But yeah, Mari and I are both in school. I have a full-time job. Mari does the channel full-time because she's amazing. I think that's all the important stuff, I guess. What are your hobbies?
My hobbies, I do, other than video games, I do aquaponics, which is a thing that you do where you have fish at the bottom in a tank below a bed of rocks. And you have the water pump up into the rocks where plants are, and the plants drink the water and filter the water from all the fish poop. Yeah. And it goes back down to the fish, and you can grow crops in it.
So you can imagine it, there's like a fish, there's like a shelf, right? A shelving unit. There's a fish tank I'm explaining for them.
Yeah.
Fish tank on the floor, and then above it on the shelf, there's a big tray filled with rocks and plants. Mm-hmm. And then she has them connected via a hose that pumps the water up and down. Mm-hmm. Yep. Because if you said aquaponics to me before, like, I knew that you were doing it, I would be like, what?
And then I showed it to you, and you're like, ew.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
I'm like, here, eat this. And you're like, no. You just looked at me. You're like, no, I'm not eating that.
Well, because you tried to just feed me cilantro.
I don't know.
Oh, my God. Mari, she likes to...
I eat weird.
Yeah, so she'll try to just, feed you herbs, which you don't usually eat by themselves.
I was doing it.
Herbs are garnishes, and Mari will just eat them, whole.
I ate an avocado out of... You know what I saw someone do?
Oh, no.
I was watching Survival Lily. She had an avocado. She peeled some of the outside with a peeler, which I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
She just peeled some of it, not the whole thing, and took a bite out of it.
What?
Yeah.
Great.
Never seen anything like it.
Wow.
Stacey thought I was weird for the way I eat avocados.
No, I think you're weird because you eat just avocados.
I eat more than just avocados. I eat a lot of things.
I don't know.
You just saw me eat sushi today.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I love how you thought of one thing.
And chips.
So, Mari I've just never seen anybody eat just, whole avocados by themselves.
Yeah, it's like eating an apple.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
Same.
They're like, because I think of avocados as like a garnish, like mayonnaise.
Oh no.
Or like a chip dip. Would you eat it? Would you eat a thing of dip with no chip?
I guarantee you there are other people who eat avocados.
Just by themselves?
Just by themselves.
Well, then you guys should be friends.
One
Maybe
person,
you could start your own little, like,
I'm starting my own channel with Survival Lily. I'm going to wherever the fuck she is.
You could start, like, some sort of, like, Mitomo type network for eaters of avocados.
Oh, let's talk about Mitomo and how it's, like, the best and the worst at the same time.
Okay, so I like Mitomo, but the situation for finding friends really annoys me.
Well, it's to stop pedophiles from getting to kids.
No, but, like, the whole, like, you can only be friends with, like, mutual follows on Twitter, I'm totally fine with that, but just let me look through all of them.
No, because what it is like, Nintendo sets up its friend networks so that you can't just scroll through anybody and pick who you want. It needs to have some sort of chain of, like, knowing people, because they don't want kids to end up being friends with creepy adults. That's why in Nintendo, it's so hard to add friends on the Nintendo networks.
Uh-huh.
Because they don't want because they design their stuff for kids, and then a bunch of adults want to play it.
Yeah, of course.
And
because what else do adults do besides
play children's games?
Yeah.
But that's how they design it. That's why it's so intentionally hard to add friends on, like, your Wii and stuff.
Yeah.
Because... and stuff like that, and they don't have, like, chat.
Or, like, at least maybe let people, I don't know.
Yeah,
let you search for people.
It took me 2 days to add Todd as my friend. I was friend with, like...
I know, which is why, like, when Mari had me over here today, she was like, Stacy, you have to. Otherwise we'll never be able to find each other.
Yeah,
I was like... you can do it if you're in person.
Yeah.
With somebody, like, you hold your phones next to each other and then you press a symbol.
Yeah.
So...
yeah, I was like, you have to download it today, otherwise we're never gonna be able to get to each other.
I know. So... but I already have a super cute outfit.
What does it look like? I only saw you in sweatpants.
Oh, my little person, I'm wearing a cloud dress.
Cloud dress.
It's a dress with, I don't know where my phone is, but I'm wearing a dress with clouds on it, and it, like, changes from, like, purpley pink to yellow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I'm happy that they let me have freckles. It makes me feel more like myself. Although it's kind of weird that you can't have, like, different colored hair.
Yeah.
Because I would have wanted to have a brighter red.
I would like to have had blue hair. But
yeah.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah. But I love that, like, everybody's playing it now.
And everyone's, like, desperately trying to, like, figure out how to become friends with each other.
I know.
Okay, so I was able to become friends with, like, I was trying so hard to become friends with Todd on it. And I was, like, friends with all of Todd's friends. And even though I'm follow Todd and he follows me. And then I was able to become friends with people who were, like, way more, like, famous and shit than me. But I still couldn't be friends with Todd. And then finally... I unlocked some sort of weird algorithm that allowed me to become friends with Todd. Like, that he was the only person I wanted to become friends with on Mitomo.
And not me?
Well, you weren't on Mitomo. That's why I kept messaging you, like, do you have Mitomo?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have it?
Mm.
Do you have Mitomo?
Uh-huh.
Stacy's mad at me because I overthought fantasies with Troy.
And now I'm overthinking your Mitomo slight.
Today, Stacy was very upset that she was not gaining friends quickly.
You have offended my honor, Mari.
Well, Stacy, I kept trying to explain to you, like, no, it rations your friend requests, and, like, it happens slowly, and you're like, no, why do you have 28 and I only have 3? And I was
like... No, it's because it just makes me feel like, I don't know, a loner. And I don't like being a loner on social media. Like, whenever I get really sad on social media, I end up just, like, reading a bunch of posts and, like, not saying anything. And that's how I always know, like, when I'm really depressed.
Because you're, like, nobody is noticing me even though I'm not posting anything?
Yeah, because I feel like you know, it's not that nobody notices me. It's that, like, I don't feel important enough to join a conversation, even though that's all in my head.
Literally tweet pussy vagina, and people will talk to you.
I mean, in the past, I always just say, like, I just find, like, something to say.
Oh, man, I'm like the opposite. I'll just be like, get on Twitter and say something so stupid, and then 3 minutes later, somebody I, like, have had a crush on for, like, 7 years, Raphael, just calm down. Well, like, a favorite, it'd be like, LOL, I'm like, God damn it.
You know,
God damn it.
So I saw this, like, research that came out where they were talking about how, okay, so in my personal opinion, it's faulty research because they found a correlation between people being more on social media and spending more time on social media and depression. So people who spend more time on social media are more likely to be depressed. And I was like, right, but that doesn't say that social media causes depression. It could be the other way around. That people who are more likely to be depressed are more likely to spend more time on social media. You know what I mean? Because that's how I am. Like, if I'm feeling more sad, I'll be on social media more than if I'm, like...
staring at people, resenting them, planning their murders.
Yes, exactly. But, you know, I don't like it when research draws... It's like they draw conclusions from things that are not necessarily the only possible conclusion to make from data.
Nope. If you eat donuts, you will die in a car accident.
Yes.
Facts.
Oh, yeah. If you guys are ever interested in checking out some funny shit, you can check out the website Spurious Correlations, which is where this guy basically looks at data and finds data that is correlated but obviously has nothing to do with each other.
You don't know that. It could be related.
I'm going to read you a couple so that way, just so that you guys have a couple funny examples. This is great. So, the U.S. spending on science, space, and technology correlates with suicides by hanging, strangulation, and suffocation. You can see the graph.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
What is it related to?
Suicides by hanging, strangulation, and suffocation.
And what is that related to?
U.S. spending on science, space, and technology, which basically just means that you can
directly correlated.
You can put the data on a graph.
Stop going to space.
That correlates with each other.
Stop going to space. People will stop dying. It's like when my dad said, you know, every time I celebrate my birthday, I get a year older. So I'm gonna stop celebrating my birthday.
Other ones are. Are
you seeing this Russian doll?
That's creepy.
Watch. If I knock into it. Smaller. Oh, nope, never mind. When I was hitting him, the smaller one was coming out. And,
like, the age of Miss America correlates with murders by steam, hot vapors, and hot objects.
Well, we gotta stop Miss America,
So basically, no, the younger Miss America is, the less murders there are.
Well.
By steam, vapor, hot vapors, and hot objects. And there's just, like, a whole bunch of other, like, random shit like that. It's kind of funny because it's just funny that the graphs are, like, so close when the things are clearly not related to each other. And, like, it really illustrates that, like, just because things are similar doesn't mean that they're caused by each other. So... I think that's about time to wrap up. If you guys want to check out the Audible link, it's audibletrial.com/geekremix. The Gamefly link is gameflyoffer.com/geekremix. And...
Stacy, can you please take the teleporter home?
The teleporter?
Yeah, so I can go to sleep right now.
What?
It's a joke.
Oh, right.
Oh, the real teleporter? Where is it?
I thought you were telling, like, a different kind of joke. Like, that there actually was, like, I was supposed to know what you were referring to.
Yeah, the real teleporter that I own.
Yeah. I thought you were...
Anyway,
See,
Mari,
this is
you taking Troy's empathy powers too seriously is so stupid. I'm angry at you. Anyway, where is the teleporter?
Anyways,
where
what teleporter? No, I thought you were, like... You were using the word to refer to something that, like... That you didn't want them to know about or something. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Stacy, take the teleporter home. Wink, wink.
Yes, Stacy. I'm trying to not let them know about the real teleporter that I have. And now you're giving it away.
Okay.
Because now it used to sound like a joke, but now you're telling them
Bye.
about the
Bye.
real teleporter that we have.
We're going now.